Oh, I'm behind. Okay. I'm is here. I'm is here. We're gonna give it a couple minutes. My hair is in a messy bun. I'm literally in the middle of eating my breakfast because I just woke up. So we're gonna have breakfast together first, and then we're gonna jump into the shenanigans and the foolishness that is my life. Oh, and I need to look up my cousin. Hold on. Hmm. Lucius Boyd. Oh, it says now. Okay. Now he got a Wikipedia page. Yeah, how did the Shauna die? The Wanna die? The one at the course. Yeah. Came to light that four women had sued Lucius Boyd for failing to pay child support. Oh my God! And he choked his second wife until she was unconscious. And he stabbed the man to death in self-defense. He is also a suspect in at least 10 other murder and disappearance cases. He was then accused of cannibalism for consuming parts of Dawana's leg while on crack, which he later admitted. Oh, praise! Oh my God! Y'all, I didn't know he was eating people. 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 Listen, this is the most I've come to cooking. I made a sausage. Listen, put some sausage up and put it in the air fryer. And then for my dessert, you think about my little job, right? They called us, giving us a bonus. They done gave me a $25 gift card to Krispy Kreme, which once I placed my order for delivery, it was just a dozen of donuts. And I asked for a Coca-Cola, and all I got was the donuts and no Coca-Cola. I don't understand what's happening. Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone. So first, let me back up a taste or two. Let's talk about my cousin Lucius. Because I did a story time about him unaliving that young, getting caught for unaliving that young lady. And so last we heard he had filed an appeal for his death penalty conviction that he was given. He was sentenced to death and 15 years. So you get 15 years and then they unalive you, or they unalive you and then keep your body for 15 years. Because that doesn't make any sense to me. Because once you gone, you gone. That's not how, what? But uh, it says a circuit judge sentenced him to death and 15 years. He appealed the verdict, but the Supreme Court of Florida affirmed the original jury decision in 2005. A date for his execution has not yet been scheduled, so Lucius, age 62, remains incarcerated at the Union Correctional Institution near Rayford, Florida. He's still in the jail. He's still in the jail. First of all, I'm going to read this for y'all so y'all know how this all jumped off. I'll leave y'all a little rundown. Let me start. I'm going to read this whole article to y'all. y'all. This is my cousin, Lucius, who started out our I know a unaliver series. I guess this is a series deal because I know more than one. Okay, so it starts off when a convicted offender our wordist and suspects serial unaliver reigns terror in the otherwise bright and glowing state of Florida. Florida is not that bright and glowing, but you know, who is me? It is no surprise that the entire nation gets captivated by the unfolding events. Thus, both forensic files and investigation discovery, Man with a Van, Lucifer, has explored the atrocious murder of Dawana DaCosta over the years, including the aspects like blind trust, hope, betrayal. This matter baffled the authorities until the assailant was eventually apprehended months later. So now, if you're curious to know the details, we got you covered. At the age of 21, Miss Dawana Hope DaCosta was attempting to live her best life by attending nursing school, working long, complex hours, and visiting the local church whenever possible. Not only was the ambitious woman a choir member hoping to be a pediatric nurse, but she also a customer service representative at American Express. Therefore, it wasn't surprising when she left for work after 10 p.m. On December 4th of 1998, only to attend a night service and pray till around 1 in the morning. Oh, she's a prayer. Jesus. DaCosta then got into her vehicle to head back home, but she never made it. Dawana's family began searching for her almost immediately, knowing that something had to be wrong for her to just vanish, which is how they found her car out of gas at the Interstate 95 exit. They reported her missing and subsequently circulated flyers and pictures wishing for her safe return. But alas, on December 7th, her cold, partially nude, and bloody remains were recovered from an alley behind a warehouse in Oakland Park on 42nd Street in Deerfield Beach. Her body was wrapped in a shower curtain liner and bed sheets with a few trash bags and a duffel bag covering her head. An autopsy revealed that she had been ruthlessly stripped naked, beaten, stabbed, and then dumped in the alley. My God, on today. She was struck on the head with a heavy object dozens of times, which cracked her skull open, and she suffered a total of 36 stab wounds from a screwdriver. See, and hold on to the screwdriver because that's going to be pertinent also in the next story. The fatal blow was to her head, which penetrated her brain. When the flyers for Dawana DaCosta's disappearance were circulating, two individuals contacted the police to report that they had seen her at a Texaco gas station at 2 a.m. on December 5th. Since her vehicle had run out of gas, she'd walked to the station, bought a gallon, then asked for strangers a ride back. Those two could not help, but they did know that she later got into a van in the parking lot driven by a black male. One of them had even asked if he would aid Dawana, which he simply nodded yes. Hope was printed on the side of the van. Despite this, it was 3 months later, on March 17, 1999, while detectives were looking into an unrelated crime, that they noticed a similar van in the Hope Outreach Ministry Church parking lot. They interviewed its owner as soon as possible, who revealed that Lucius Boyd was the only one who used the van from December 4th to December 7th. Therefore, when his DNA came out to match the semen, oh my God, found in Dawana, he was determined to be her killer. Traces of Lucia's DNA were also found under her fingernails, so he was arrested on March 26th and charged with murder. As inquiries continued, it came to light that 4 women had sued Lucius Boyd for failing to pay child support. He choked his second wife until she was unconscious. He stabbed a man to death in self-defense. He also a suspect in at least 10 other unalived and disappearance cases. As if all of this wasn't enough, he was then accused of cannibalism for consuming parts of Dawana's leg while on crack, which he later admitted. Moreover, traces of blood were discovered inside his apartment. Several bite marks on her broken body matched his teeth. With all of this, he was found guilty of murder, sexual battery, and armed kidnapping. Thus, on June 21st, 2002, the circuit judge sentenced him to death and 15 years. That's where I get confused, because if you're going to kill, you're going to wait. So do the 15, you can't, okay. So it must be you serve 15 years and then we're going to put you to death, because it can't be the other way around, because that makes no sense. He appealed this verdict, but the Supreme Court of Florida affirmed the original jury decision in 2005. A date for his execution has not been scheduled, so he remains incarcerated at a Union Correctional Institution near Rayford. That is the update on my cousin, my God, on today, on my cousin Lucius. Now, we don't really talk about him in the family. I asked the elder, she had no updates. His parents have, I think his dad is gone. I'm not 100% sure about his mama. Um, but that is my cousin, the serial unaliver. I told y'all he is suspected. Sometimes they overturn the death penalty and they get like 25. He tried that, Tracy, but they said no. They said no. You got to go away from here. And you got to go. You ate her leg while you were on crack, sir. Go away. Go far away to go to the bad place. Oh, that is the update on my cousin. He's still on death row. I'll check back. Maybe we'll do it virtually. I'll check back around this time next year and see if he has gone on to glory. Okay. Bear with me because that's my last soda. And I'm trying to savor. Okay. Church folks is on one today. I can't. I also have an ought against Amazon right now. They said, "Oh, your order will be here Tuesday." It's Saturday. It's been in the city since Tuesday. Talk about, oh, you'll get it by the 27th. The 27th? And then there's something that I ordered on Wednesday that's supposed to be here today. And it still says your order will be here by 10 p.m. But it was in Georgia. So I don't know. The things that's supposed to, I need here today, I need it for tomorrow. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens. I might have to redo my wardrobe. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to happen. Okay. So, forward, my friend. Let's get into my friend's story. So, I will never forget this. I had come home. Oh, wait, that's wrong. I had come home to Virginia for the weekend to spend it with the Virginia boo and my best friend for my birthday. I had come out there. I'm just going to have a good time, party it up. So I get to the hotel and I check in and I get to my room. And my best friend comes to my room and she says, "Ebony, there's something I need to tell you. Sit down." And I immediately was like, "Oh my God, what is happening?" I thought something happened to one of her family members, one of the children's, something terrible. And she was like, "No, it's not. The kids are fine. My family is fine. However, our mutual friend, her ex-boyfriend, my very good friend, I've known this man since I was 15 years old." She said, "He unalived his wife." I'm sorry, excuse me? What happened? She said, "Yeah, he unalived Chris." Now I had made friends with Chris as his wife. We would chat all the time on the Book of Faces. Lovely young lady. They were living in upstate New York with their. Why is there a notification? I'm sorry, y'all. That's odd. Oh, child, go away. So I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean he unalived her? And she was like, yeah. So apparently he. Okay, so here's what had happened. So my friend had long suffered from some mental health issues, like his entire life. Sometimes he when he was on his medication, he was good. He was good money. But sometimes when he veered off, things got a little woo. Uh, Let me take you back to, I think I was 16, no more than 17 years old. We were skipping school and we were at his house because he was like 18, 19, so he was out of school. So we were skipping school. My boyfriend was 21. So, you know, there's that. So we were all meeting at his house to hang out. Me, Tracy, David, and David. My baby daddy's name is David. My friend, his name, the white boy, his name was David. So that's how we differentiated between them. Is either the white David or the black David. My mama till this day still calls him the white David. Uh, because my mama knew him and she helped him when he was having issues with his daughter, and that will come back into play later in this story as well. Like I feel like I'm all over the place, but I'm gonna get it all out, right? So we were I was no more than 15, 16. We're at his house hanging out playing Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo. And I will never forget, we were at, because he was staying with his mama, so we was at his mama's house. We're playing Nintendo on the TV, sitting in the living room, Kiki and the Kaka, and acting the monkey like we normally do. When SWAT kicked in the door. SWAT kicked in the door. They were on the balcony. They had like come down over the roof onto the balcony because we were on like the second or third floor of the apartment complex. I can't remember, but his mama had a balcony, so we had the SWAT people come down over the balcony, and so they had did all of that. We were all stupefied. They did all of that to arrest him. They did all of that with SWAT, and they came like that. I don't even remember what he got arrested for, but I think I was telling y'all the last time we talked, that young man had black belt degrees in 3 different karate disciplines. So regular karate, Muay Thai, and I want to say the third one was jiu-jitsu, but I can't say that 100% sure. But I do know that he was a black belt in all 3 of the disciplines of karate that he practiced. And apparently he was certified as a lethal weapon, I guess. Oh, lethal weapon. But yeah, he was certified. So when they came in, they came to get him. They came in super aggressively, and when they took him out, they had hog tied him so that he couldn't use his hands and feet on the police officers. So they had handcuffed him behind his back. They handcuffed his feet, and then they connected his feet to his hands, and then they scooped him and took him out. I will never forget that. And that was the last time. Like I wasn't a bad kid. I very rarely skipped school, but that was enough. That episode right there, hanging out with the white. You see, this is what happens when you the nigga amongst the white children and you doing something you know you ain't got no business. See how the Lord do? They came and scooped that boy up and took him out of that apartment. I was listening, naive I was, and naive I still am to this day. I don't know what they charged that boy for to take him out of there like that, but they came and got him. So Eventually, he got back out. We went back to hanging out like nothing had happened. But we hung out all through. I graduated high school. I went to college. I came back home. All of those things. Now, when I got married, we kind of lost touch and stuff like that. And I moved out of the city, and he had moved, and a lot of things, and we had just lost touch. But we had gotten back together on the Book of Faces. When I joined the Book of Faces, he found me eventually. There are pictures of us from his account from when we were in high school. When we were hanging out at his house at New Year's Eve, when there was the debacle with my baby daddy bringing down his then at that his ex-girlfriend that he was cheating on me with, and I didn't know about it. That girl he eventually married, and we have some children several months apart. That debacle, that New Year's Eve when I found out I was pregnant, and he was there with her. She wasn't pregnant, and he got down on one knee, even though he had broken up with me to go back with her. But we were all at the same. It's a whole lot. It's all at the same party, and then he had found out like a couple days before that I was pregnant, and then we were all at this New Year's Eve party, and that nigga got down on one knee in front of me and her and asked me to marry him. Drama. All that happened at his house. Drama today. I lost my virginity. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand the complexity of my relationship with this man. I lost my virginity at that man's house. Yeah. A couple months before. I had, hence me being pregnant at the time. And then I lost my virginity at that man's house. So when I say this man was my friend, this man was my friend. Like, and our relationship was of the nature where it was like I was his little sister. You couldn't say nothing crazy to me in his presence. You couldn't look at me funny. You couldn't even walk up. He wasn't going to allow for you to do any of those things. He was very much my protector. Very much my protector. So, we were friends, and then we lost touch, and then we got back in touch on the Book of Faces. I will see if I can go on Facebook and see if I can find. I know I have pictures of us tagged together on Facebook, but I get home to celebrate a birthday. My best friend and his ex-girlfriend comes in. She's like, "Sit down," and she tells me the news, and I'm like, "He did what now?" So this is what precipitated everything. I'm gonna read y'all what the article says, but I'm gonna give you what I knew to be the story of why he did what he did first, and then we'll go back and read the article about what they said in court and all this other stuff. Because there's stuff that came out in court that I had no clue what's happening in this situation. So he has been trying to get disability for years. I'm not sure why he was getting disability. Maybe I know he had back problems where he's had a couple surgeries on his back, and he also had some mental health issues, but he was trying to get disability. As because he couldn't work anymore. He couldn't work anymore, so he's trying to get disability. And so he had been trying for years to get disability. And so I guess Chris, his wife, no longer could take all of the turmoil in the home. And so she took the children. They had 3 triplets, 3 boys. And she left him, and they had separated. In the interim, while he got approved for his disability, and they did a large sum back payment because they retroactive it to when for the entirety of the time that he's been in litigation and trying to get the disability online and stuff. I think it was a check of like 30 grand. It was 30 grand, a lump sum of 30 grand, which was the retroactive payment for how long he's been fighting to get this disability. I don't know how this happened, but instead of him getting the check, they gave her the check. She got the money, not him. And so he had all these back bills due and all these other things that he was trying to accomplish. And he was waiting for that check. Once he realized he was approved, he was waiting for the check. When he found out that the wife got the check, she stopped talking to him altogether. Like they had been talking, trying to reconcile the relationship, trying to make sure that he had visitation with the boys while they were separated, Bosley Bloom, all of these things. Until she got the money. And then she just cut off all communication and stopped talking to him. So, from what we gathered at the time, that made him extremely angry, which of course it would. I know it would. You done took my $30,000. Hey, ho, come back with my money. So he found out that she was going to be at the doctor's office. He stalked her down to the doctor's office and then ran into her and then proceeded to stab her like 36 times with a screwdriver. I don't know if that's the number. We'll get the correct number when we go to the article. But he unalived her at that doctor's office. I'm going to say it again for those of you who didn't. He took a screwdriver. I don't know what this is with men and screwdrivers. And stabbed her so many times that he killed her at the doctor's office. Now, when his trial came, a whole bunch of other stuff came out, which as to the reason to why he did what he did, like the $30K wasn't enough. Some other stuff they said, we're going to read about that in a second. He was sentenced to 186 years in jail. 186. He didn't get the death penalty. He got 186 years, which you don't be here till you're dead. You're dead. That's the thing. You're gonna be here till you're dead. So let's read the article, shall we? All right, here we go. Okay, first of all, let me go to faith. Let me go to the book of faces. Let me go to the book of faces. Oh, Fred, I'm so happy for you that you start back at your job. Okay. I'm gonna see. It's very sad. Okay. It makes me very sad. I'm on his Facebook page. It makes me very sad. Oh, I remember those twins. They ended up going to MIT. No, they went to Virginia Tech. They ended up going to Virginia Tech. So hold on, I'm gonna share the screen. Okay, so these are his photos on Facebook. So there's me. That's his ex-girlfriend in the background. That's my baby daddy. Look, we all commented like, look, memories. Okay, so I don't know how he had this picture. But this is me. That's me and my best friend Tracy, and at my ring dance in our sophomore year, I think. My sophomore year, she was a junior because she was a year ahead of me. Okay, this is him, and those are the triplets. This makes me very sad. This makes me very, very, very sad. Okay. All right. So let's get to the article. So this is the article that I found. This is the most up-to-date article. This is from July 15th of 2022. Okay, this is the last update. So it says judge lowers killer's crime and screwdriver slaying of his wife. An appeal court judge ruled not enough evidence exists to show David T. Jr. unalived his wife in 2015 to silence her as a possible witness in a sex crime case, reduced conviction to second-degree murder. This is his mugshot. This is what he looked like when they found him. The day that he unalived her. I personally think it was about the money. I don't know that he killed her behind what they're about to say he was the reason, which is possibly why he won his appeal. So, in Albany, an appeals court Thursday unanimously replaced the first-degree murder conviction with a conviction of second-degree murder, ruling that the screwdriver-wielding unaliver's butchery of his wife at a Columbia County medical building was not to silence her as a possible witness to his sex crimes. I had no idea there were sex crimes involved until we got to the trial, and I was watching the trial on, I think it's still on YouTube. If you go, I don't know if it's still on YouTube or not, if they keep it that long. Egan, 48, serving 186 years to life in Attica Correctional Facility, will be resentenced as a result of a decision by the Appellate Division State Supreme Court's Third Department. The court's decision may not drastically impact his time behind bars. Egan lost his appeal on 139 counts of sex crimes, which includes R-word and criminal sexual acts victimizing an underage teenage girl. Prosecutors, we're going to talk about the underage girl, because when y'all find out who the underage girl is, y'all, Jesus Christ, that makes my forehead hurts. Prosecutor said Egan unalived 37-year-old Christina Egan in a lobby at the Valete Medical Arts Facility on River Street on December 10, 2015, because she was a potential witness against him in his repeated sexual abuse of a 16-year-old girl, which began in January of 2014. State police arrested him on Route 4 in East Greenbush following a manhunt. They took him to Albany Medical Center Hospital after fearing he ingested unknown prescription drugs before his car was stopped. While in custody, Egan told his mama in a phone conversation that if prosecutors listened to his phone conversations with the underage victim, they would be using murder one, because he don't know to shut up on a recorded line. At trial, a Columbia County jail officer testified that Egan admitted to him that he had killed the deceased victim, but that he did not do it on purpose, and that he had an intimate relationship with the minor victim. Matthew Hugg, the appellate attorney for Egan, conceded during his argument to the Third Department his client unalived his wife, the mother of 4 of Egan's children, including triplets, but said Egan acted under extreme emotional disturbance not to silence her. The Third Department determined insufficient evidence existed to establish Egan killed his wife as a witness elimination crime, which would elevate it to first-degree murder. Justice Molly Reynolds Fitzgerald, who authored the ruling, said murder rises to the level of first degree if the defendant intentionally kills a victim who was a witness to a crime committed on a prior occasion and the death was caused for the purpose of preventing the intended victim's testimony and any criminal action. I don't think that's what was happening here. Fitzgerald said no evidence showed Egan's wife witnessed the sex crimes or that Egan thought his wife was expected to testify against him. At most, the deceased victim may have been a coincidental witness since she was suspicious of sex offenses, but she could not have been in a position to provide powerful direct evidence of defendant's criminal sexual acts. She wrote the evidence was sufficient to convict defendant of the lesser included offense of murder in the second degree. Justices Sharon, Lisa, John, and Eddie backed the ruling. Egan and McShawn wrote concurring opinions. Columbia County prosecutors was presented by Chief Assistant District Attorney James Carlucci. Egan said the evidence showed Egan to be a vicious, cold-blooded killer who intentionally murdered his wife, and slightly differing from the majority, he said he believed sufficient evidence showed the wife to be a witness. Egan agreed, however, he did not believe it motivated Egan to kill his wife. McShane said he believed the penal law backs Egan's argument that Egan's wife could have been considered a witness. Even those witnesses who might provide minor details of a prior crime may still be important in the prosecution of a criminal case, particularly one that is not largely built on social circumstantial evidence. With that in mind, it is not difficult to envision a scenario in which a defendant is substantially motivated to eliminate a witness whose testimony might only consist of circumstantial or even coincidental evidence concerning a major crime. So let's talk about this for a second. So he had 139 counts of sexual crimes and victimizing a minor. It was to my horror that I found out that the minor that he was doing all of this to was his daughter. His daughter, his first child that he had before he even met Chris and got married and had kids with her. And that baby had been going through some things at home with her mama and got sent to live with them. And then apparently all of these things were taking place. I still, to this day, cannot wrap my head and heart around the fact that I knew this man. This man was my friend. I loved him and I knew he loved me. I'm stunned to this very day. Now, they said they're going to take it from first degree murder to second degree murder. He ain't never getting help. Because that still don't lessen any of the time for the 139 other charges that he was charged with. Like his mama wanted me to write him a letter. Child, his mama wanted me to write him a letter. To this day, she wants me to write him a letter. I don't know what to say to him. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. The triplets who are now in effect orphans, they are being raised by her parents. That I do know. So the triplets and the other baby are. That's what I'm saying, Tracy. Write him and say what? What I'm gonna say to him? That's where I'm stuck. This is as far as I got on the letter. Dear David, that's as far as I've gotten. I got nothing. I got nothing. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to him. I don't know what I would say, how I would say it, why I would say something. I got nothing. I got nothing. Her mama wanted me to write something. Tracy, my best friend, his ex-girlfriend, my baby daddy. At one point, they were friends. He introduced me to my baby daddy. I lost my virginity at his house. Y'all don't understand. And it's not just I'm hurt behind you unaliving your wife. What really got me is I found out she was messing over your daughter. Your daughter that you told me that you loved and you wanted custody and visitation and all of these things. And I sent you to my mama to get help with those things. Only to come out and find out that you ended up messing over that little girl. What is there for me to say to you? What is there for me to say? Y'all, what is there for me to say? Tracy, you are correct. Listen, he got to find God for himself. I don't know. He's the light of the world, Tracy. But I don't know. Like I'm still to this day. And it's been years. And I still like it's very difficult to reconcile. It's the fact that it was his daughter. You were at this. That's what it is. It's the fact that it was your daughter. I'm not gonna call that baby's name on here because that's nobody's business. But it's the fact that you was messing over your baby. Because I don't. Like I. Like it never even entered as a thought in my mind. It never entered as a thought in my mind that you were capable of doing this. You know, everybody is capable of anything given the right set of circumstances. However, it just never entered my mind that you would do this and that you would do it to you would not only unalive your wife, but you was messing over your baby. Not that underage sex is okay, but when it's your own child, that's a whole different listen. Like if it's a different set of circumstances. I don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to like age disparity relationships because when I was 15, 16, my baby daddy was 21. So who is me? Who is me? My husband was 10 years older than me. So who I don't have a dog in the fight. But for you to mess over your own baby, like that's a different type of sickness. It really is. That's a whole different kettle of fish. And I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't. Try to drink some water. I can see some reasons to send a spouse to an upper room, but sleeping with your child, absolutely, absolutely, you are absolutely correct. Because if the Lord hadn't fast forwarded Mr. Cosby to the upper room, I could have been somebody's cellmate. I could have been somebody's cellmate. Now listen here. That's why I switched to drinking water. Because I couldn't. Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. Mm-hmm. Why I paid to have these little cracked donuts in my house, but I did. Mm. When I get off here, I'm gonna take a couple of these, put them in the microwave, and reheat them. I'm gonna do that, y'all. At this point, I'm comfort eating because you decided in your infinite wisdom to chase your wife down to the doctor's office. Mm-mm. I don't remember. Hold on. My stomach is already doing the Watusi. He stabbed her 35 times with a flathead screwdriver. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. It said he was sentenced to a minimum of 186 and one third years to a maximum of 389 years. They gave him almost a max of 400 years. $186 is on the low side. They should have just said until you're dead. They should have just said you're gonna be here until you're dead. Listen, until you stop breathing, you will be here. You will be a resident here at the prison. You're never getting out. Never ever. I don't. Y'all. I can't believe that's the conclusion that they came to, was that he was trying to kill her to shut her up. And not because she absconded with that man's $30,000. I want to know how they came to the conclusion that that's why he did it. It won't never know he didn't. We don't know if he did do it or not. It was the why of it all. Why would you do this? Hmm. Anybody got any questions? I should have invited my baby daddy. I guess you did a drive-by on a guy that unalived his brother in a fight, and my ex unalived someone that was trying to rob him, but he kept pulling. Baby, don't I though? I'm not only stuck on the fact that that man was messing over his baby, but that my cousin was a cannibal and eating people and smoking crack at the same time. I don't. Listen, I don't know either. Y'all, this is a mess. But yeah, that is my friend who's in jail for the rest of his life, and at this point, rightfully so. Because if you was messing over your own child, and go underneath the jail, sir. There's nothing I can do for you. Absolutely nothing I can do for you. It's bad enough when I thought you just went crazy about that money and well, no, not my cousin Lucius. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. There is a 25-year age gap between us, so we weren't as close as cousins. And he's a well, it doesn't matter because some of my second cousins are like first cousins. Um, and no, he hasn't tried to reach out to me. I've talked his mama once is the one who's trying to facilitate a conversation back and forth or us writing him in prison. Mm-mm. I don't even know if he knows that I know what happened. To be honest with you, I don't know, baby. It's a mess. It's a mess. All right, okay, y'all. I gotta go and do some actual work because I signed on. I'm on the clock and I signed up to actually do some overtime today, so I actually have to do some work. Tomorrow, I will try and record my as I get ready for church in the morning. Uh, it'd be too early in the morning to actually try and do a live because y'all know that early in the morning I ain't trying to talk to y'all nobody about anything. I need Jesus to talk to me that early so my attitude be right for the saints by the time I get to church. That's all I got. But until then, I will see y'all on Monday for something. I'll figure out some way to come live or come chat with y'all. I'll figure out something for us to talk about. My God. Till then, just know that anybody is capable of anything and watch your six. That's best I got for you. Until then. Oh, thank you, Lemon Kush Pepper. Y'all have I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I don't speak of that man. I don't like him. And no, and I love listen. Once he gave Cassie her money, I stopped caring. So that does that sound harsh? Once he gave her the money out, okay, good. Now go somewhere in the corner and shut up. You are coming out the woodwork. Jamie Foxx, Aaron. I saw somebody say L.A. Reid did something to somebody. Child, everybody was like, it's now or never. So if they didn't get their stuff filed before the deadline, you can forever hold your peace because it's a wrap now. All right, let me go on and get myself together before I start talking again. And I need to do some work for these people. I love y'all. And I will see y'all later for some. Child, I quit. Nope, I'm not jumping into that. I quit. Goodbye. Goodbye.